Hello everyone, it is 3:05 p.m. Central Time on Friday, November 4th, 2016. And guys, I hope you're doing good. Just jumping on here real quick, I was in chat typing it out with a few people and saw that an official offer has been made for us to come over, or myself and the Duchess, to come over to Italy and explain to locals how to forecast an earthquake. And it's kind of been somewhat officially sanctioned by the mayor of a certain town. I'm not going to give it away yet, but I'm going to be getting that set up. I have my passport already, so I can travel internationally, hopefully. Hopefully I'm not on the do not fly list, right? Okay, it's funny. Yeah, so that's a huge offer. And they've offered to bring us over and take care of our lodging, and I mean, it's a big offer. So I'm going to do it. I'm already going to accept the offer, and whenever we can get over there soon, and I mean, hopefully relatively soon here, and I've got, of course, planned things out with my wife and her job and stuff, but that shouldn't be a problem. We should be able to get that squared away in the next couple weeks. So, yeah, so this is good news. And we'll be trying to get some airfare set up. I don't know what we'll do on that. I'll have to check into that and see what it costs to fly over there. You know, I would like to take a boat because I don't want to fly. Maybe we'll get on a not a passenger ship. I don't want that either. You get the Norwalk virus. So you put me on a shipping container and put me in. And I'll get over there in a couple weeks. But no, that's a joke. So we'll get that set up and get it squared away so that we can go over there and teach locals and teach professionals in Italy how to forecast an earthquake. And I'll show them everything I found. I ideally would have a video recorded beforehand, a special video, just to show people in Italy and have it fully translated before I go. So that would be on my top priority list right now, is to make maybe a 30-minute, quick 30-minute explanation video on the just general details of earthquake forecasting. Have it translated into Italian, then have a separate presentation that I give when I'm there that fully looks into Italy in particular. I mean, first to cover the global principles of earthquake forecasting, and then to go further down into it and explain how the global principles translate into countries like Italy, Greece, Turkey. And if you're open to a conference on it and you live in Europe and you're a professional and you want to attend, we will get that information out so you can come to the conference and learn how to. It'll be free. I do not charge for my information, so it'll be free and open to the public, and it will be the information will also be free and available to take with you. I'll either have it on disc or on a website so you can download. I'll have my videos and all that stuff there so you can watch them. And what I would expect out of this is that people would watch my presentation, take the information, and go repeat it themselves. So that if you're a scientist, you're a researcher, you're a geologist, seismologist, and you want to forecast earthquakes, you would take the information, take it back to your house, watch it again and again for a few times, and start your own forecasting. And repeat the steps and see. Okay? I mean, scientifically test. Peer review, but you want to talk about peer review. We're talking about not just peer review from a closed group of scientists. We're talking about putting it out to the world where you can repeat it and test it for yourself, whether you're an average person. It's simple enough that if you understand what I'm talking about, that the average person can forecast an earthquake, not just a seismologist or geologist. That my mom can forecast an earthquake, shown the appropriate steps, and she's not into geology. That my best friend can be shown how to forecast an earthquake. That a complete stranger can be shown how to forecast an earthquake in steps, in repeatable methods, steps that you can take to know what's coming. But you have to throw out certain aspects of current geology, which is okay because we know it's wrong. So, you know, we're not clinging to a religious belief here or anything, guys. We can throw a lot of that crap out because it was people's suppositions. Not even theories. Hypotheses. I don't even know what the plural on hypothesis is. I guess just hypothesis. Their hypothesis were wrong. And it was then promoted and elevated to theory level by conjecture of people over a long time. And we'll get into that. We will get into what is a dogma in science and what is an actual fact or truth. And we'll explain the difference of how that was adopted over a long period of time and has led to a stagnation in science in the geophysics world. In general, geosciences has become stagnant with old, outdated, incorrect information that's being debunked on almost a daily basis at this point, and it's being clung to by the people who teach it and learn it like it's some kind of religion or something. And I'm not into that. I'm into science. We're going to go where our nose leads us. And if it follows one way and we have to throw out the old stuff, fine. We would expect that. And so you would never expect to keep all the old stalwart, the pillars of geology. That's what? That's science? What? No. Science is constantly changing based upon new things that we're discovering. Surely we couldn't believe that everybody knew everything about the planet back in the late 1800s and going into the 1950s, do we? They didn't even have a 3D globe to plot their earthquakes on. They had to put pen sticks into a globe and spin it around if they wanted to do that. We know they didn't do that. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go over to Italy. We're going to teach everybody. We're going to show the public how to do it. We're going to let the cat out of the bag. It's already out of the bag on YouTube, but again, YouTube is kind of not taken seriously. I understand. YouTube is kind of a place for recreation and makeup review videos and Bigfoot and UFO videos, okay? I mean, and lots of politics and baloney on YouTube. Well, I understand that. We'll take it outside of there. We'll take it to the real world, give a presentation in front of an audience. You can see I'm a real person, and we can do questions and answers after I do my presentation. So if anybody needs anything cleared up or they want to ask a question, well, I'll have a translator there that can translate from English to Italian and Italian to English so we can answer the questions verbatim. And we'll record the whole thing and we'll stream it live if we can so that you guys can tune in from around the world and see how it goes internationally, real time, free for all, out in the open with no special access to some paid conference somewhere. Okay? Again, that really bothers me when we're talking about information that could save lives and there's people out there doing paid conferences to try and charge for the information. That to me is reprehensible, terrible. It means that you're charging for people's lives. You know? Imagine having like a forecast methodology for how to forecast a tornado down to a fine point, and that you just sat on that information and gave paid public speaking engagements where you talked about it. By the way, we have figured that out, by the way, at least in the States, how to pinpoint a tornado, but we won't go there. That's a whole nother conference I could give. All right, so anyways, that's the information as it stands right now. By tomorrow, I'll have a better idea of what's, what time frame this is all being offered in, and how we can go about getting over there soon, as opposed to, I was thinking like spring of this coming year, but I'll go over in the winter. I'll go over right now. If they want it, I'm there. That's just that simple. If they're ready for it, I'm ready to go. And I don't want to. Again, I don't want it to be about me. Maybe I can get behind like a screen where you just have the silhouette of me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want people looking at me. I don't like getting up in front of crowds of people. Oh my God, I'm so stage shy. It was a big deal for me to even turn on this dang camera. Seriously. I'm into science, so again, I don't want to be up there like, I don't want to be the next Michio Kaku on ABC News, you know what I mean? I'm camera shy. I'm scared of people. It's funny, I'm on YouTube, but I'm scared of people. Crowds of people, I mean, not scared of people, but scared of the crowds of people all looking at you. I'll start sweating. My pits will get all sweaty. I'll be on stage. It'll be like I'll get sick. That'll be great. I can't wait. I'm joking. That won't happen to me, but I am kind of crowd-ophobic. All right. Anyways, everybody, really good to see you in here. If you're looking for an update on the earthquakes, I did one about about an hour and 15 minutes ago, and it fully addresses Italy, what to watch out for tonight, going into tomorrow here we are. The swarm is carried on. We've got another stack of earthquakes, and it topped out at the mid-range 3. 3.4, 3.5, now multiple 2s. We have a 4.3 to the east in Bosnia. I addressed this all. It's now saved as a video on my YouTube channel, so you guys can go watch it. It's an update I did an hour ago as a new video on my channel. Okay? You know what? Let me just show it to you. Let's just show it to you here. Let's go to display capture, and we'll open up a new window. I always recommend you check my YouTube channel, because even though the live stream covers all the earthquakes, let me get that off there. All right, even though the live stream covers all the earthquakes, you can see my updates from last night. Check this out. Eli Alley did a translation for William's interview. I tried to upload the doc to my website, and it wouldn't take it. My WordPress wouldn't take the docx file, and unless I wanted to, hand type it out myself of the translation of the translation, unless I wanted to retype it, I couldn't upload the doc to my website for some reason. I'm trying. I tried last night, and I gave up. It was like 3 a.m., and I was beat. But Copper Tropicals has my update from last night, and I try to give her as many of those as she can so she can build her channel. And if you're looking for backups on my stuff, check Copper Tropicals channel. I got to recommend it on here. She's the hiney that we see right there at the end. So check it out. All right, we've got updates, and my update from earlier has just posted. It is called Earthquake Update. New deep earthquake strike West Pacific. Italy watch update. So there it is. I haven't even favorited it or anything myself. I need to like it and put it on my favorites. Add to favorites. We'll do that right now. And let me go ahead and add it to my earthquake list as well, if you guys check the earthquake playlist. So there it is. Here's the update from earlier. I talk about the earthquakes going across Turkey up into Italy right now, how the swarm of 2s across Turkey and Greece has added up to a single series of 3s that have hit today, and the 4.3 to the east does elevate us up to the threat of a potential 4.3 to 4.4 to be mixed in with this overnight tonight, but not that big of a deal, because again, guys, there's been a lack of large earthquakes across here today, which is finally some good news right now. But we have new deep earthquakes over here in the West Pacific, which I explain in the video and talk about that and what to watch for going over the next 2 to 3 days. South America has been hit right next to Copa volcano. Again, Copa volcano erupted just this past week. And we talked about it. It's like, wow, Copa hasn't been on the list for forever. La 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 la. Now there's a 6.4 right next to it. And you remember last night I told you guys we're watching for a 6.5 down here at the South Sandwich Islands? Well, it struck halfway between South Sandwich Islands and our swarm location up here in North Chile going into South Peru. You may remember the update I did last night where I'm like, look at all the 5s that hit here at the center. Nothing else is hit down to the south. We're going to see it progress down to the south and go over to the South Sandwich Islands. That's exactly with my goofy little impersonation of myself. All right. You like that impersonation of myself? That's what I sound like to myself. All right. Anyways, so today, a 6.4 plus subsequent swarm struck right next to Copa, which is the southernmost volcano that's been erupting. So it's like a sticking point. So for the pressure to transfer down to the south and go underneath, first thing it has to go underneath is Copa volcano and the magma chamber there. And what happened? Well, as the pressure is transferring down underneath, heading down towards the South Sandwich Islands, it hits Copa, and boom, an earthquake releases right next to it. It's pretty simple. The combination of all the 5s last night added up to a single 6.5, 6.4, which struck in Chile as opposed to South Sandwich Islands. But it's progressing on its way down, and we will see an increase down at South Sandwich Islands. Now we have a 6.4 to mix in with that, which means South Sandwich is finally going to move eventually with like an upper 6 into 7.0 earthquake. I don't know if that's going to be going for the next 2 days, 3 days. Not a big deal. Nobody lives there. Right where this is, there's not even any islands. It's actually sub-sea mounts north of Antarctica. And it would take, I mean, we're not even talking about the threat of a wave off that. You guys understand that usually when it's like upper 6, lower 7.0 earthquakes, that those don't normally cause much wave activity. It really takes like a upper 8 to 9, like what struck in Japan, to cause these big tsunamis. All right, so we're not worried about that. We're just looking for a larger release now since a 6 has been mixed in with all those 5s from yesterday. So, there we go. Anything else? Oh! Well! What do we have on the screen here? Take a look at this. A 3.1 up in New England. What did we tell you guys to watch for last night? What did we tell you to watch for? Not New England, I'm sorry. This is New Brunswick, north of Maine. What did we talk about last night? We talked about the threat of a potential 3.1. When did this strike? 2 days ago. 2 days ago? What? They just put it on the map. Are you kidding me? Well, check it out, guys. This is great. This is perfect, actually. This is perfect. This past week, a 4.1 earthquake struck off the coast of California, followed by a 4.1 earthquake in the Midwest, followed by 2s creeping up the coast, which I reported on, and now here you see it. A 3.1 has finally made it onto the map 2 days after it occurred, and I'll be dang, it is right where we told you to watch. There's that 3 on the East Coast following the 4 in the Midwest. How about that for a confirmation? And they just added it on. Psh. Psh. You guys ever watch the video? It's a prank video. Oh, it's great. Psh. That's all I'm saying to them. Whatever. Psh. Oh my God. There it is. All right. So this is why I don't trust geologists. No, just kidding. This is why I don't trust the politics involved with reporting earthquakes. Don't want to cause a panic. Don't want to cause an outrage. Don't want people on the East Coast to ask, why did a 3 strike? Well, you have to answer them by telling them a 4 struck in the Midwest. Then you'd have to admit, geologists, that earthquakes are related across thousands of miles across the edge of the interior edge of the plate on the craton. There's only been one guy talking craton earthquakes since 2011, and that's me. And you've been denying it, professional geologist in the U.S., denying the pressure transfer across the edge of the craton the whole time. So now, take a look at it. Last week's worth of earthquakes. Heavy movement on the West Coast. Moderate to strong movement in the Midwest. And lighter movement on the East Coast. Boom. How about that? All right, guys. Well, there you go. That is now our update for the afternoon. I'll be back on later on tonight at 10 p.m. Central Time. Be sure to tune in because we're going to be addressing Italy, and we'll have a much better idea in about 7 hours where we're going to stand for the day in Italy. Now today, again, I'm watching still for the potential for at least a 4.3. It's all based upon the 5.5 that struck up in Poland yesterday. Did that relieve the pressure? Sure looks like it. The 6.0 over in China transferred west and caused a 5.5 up in Poland. Both of the earthquakes were mysteriously not shown on the map. But today, check it out. Turkey and Greece finally swarmed out. 2s with a single 4, which means a 4 combined with the 2s, or 4.3, combined with these 2s takes it up to 4.4 potential. Could strike by tomorrow morning at the most. We put a 48-hour watch on it. Tonight at 10 p.m. will be pretty much the 48-hour mark. So in Italy, going into tomorrow morning, since it's nighttime there right now, by tomorrow morning, we should have a report of something similar in size to what struck here today. Again, it transfers to the west. But the good news is, check this out. North Italy was struck, and my people in Holland were struck, right at the Holland-German-Belgian border, with a 3. A 3, my people. Hello to those in the Netherlands. You were struck right at the border with an earthquake. Why? Well, first of all, we issued a warning for it. See, it's a 2.8. Now, you guys remember the 2.8 that struck the English Channel 4 days ago? Or the 2.9 that struck in southwest England at Cornwall, just west of Plymouth in Devon? Or the 2.8 down here at Portugal? Remember those 2.8s? I'm sorry, and the 2.8 that struck at the Spain-South France border. How about that for 2.8s? Well, it went all the way across the European craton, spreading out with 2.8s, near 3s. Might as well just call them 3s because several of them were downgraded. So 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, all the way up the entire plate. Leftovers, pressure transferring out from Italy's movement itself. 70 centimeters of rise and fall along the fault zone in Italy on the plate boundary. 70 centimeters. That's 27.5 inches. It's over 2 feet of rise and fall there. Well, what do you think is going to happen along the whole edge of the plate? I'd be willing to venture a guess. This is just a guess. That if someone were to take GPS measurements from the point in Italy up to this point near the Netherlands and measure, that you'd see a dramatic increase in the last week in height. That this area has moved from central Italy up to Netherlands. It's just a guess, but it would have to be done with GPS measurements I don't have access to. Someone would have to do a line measurement from that point to the other and measure the height. And you'd see the Alps have risen by 2 inches or something like that from the point of, and I'm just guessing. If it's 27.5 inches of rise and fall, buckling, happening along the plate boundary, then it's got to be translating out across the whole plate. That's why 2.8s struck Portugal, South Spain, France, English Channel, and now Netherlands at German border. And why a 5.5 struck in Poland. Why? Pressure transfers across Europe. Doesn't just stop, doesn't just magically disappear. It translates across the plate out to its final resting point, where it's able to expend itself fully over and over again on the ridges, east and west, north and south, at the mid-Atlantic ridge near Iceland, going south to the Azores. All volcanic, by the way. Iceland volcanoes, Azores volcanoes, and those are the spots that are hit next. So, I hope you understand, going into tomorrow, the threat has been technically reduced down to a 4.3 to 4.4. That's all that's struck so far today to your east. That's good. That's good. But 72 hours from now, these deep earthquakes will cause new movement in South Europe. Larger again. You're not done. 2 to 3 days from now, these deep earthquakes will cause an increase back in central Italy. The only silver lining on this is that pressure is transferring out from Italy at this point. It's not bottlenecking there like it was over the past week. That's good news, right? It's spreading out. So as it spreads out, less pressure releases up at Italy itself, and it spreads out and releases at these other points out from Italy. Along the edge of the plate, the craton, which is the European craton, going through North Germany, South France, Spain, over into Netherlands, south of Netherlands, over into Poland, bending back down and around over to Romania. You can see the height elevation, green versus yellow. Take a look at green versus yellow and the brownish in here. This is height elevation. This is also the edge of the European plate. I'm going to take my mouse and move it over this so you can see it. Okay, we start down here. We go up and around, back up and around through Poland, then back up through south. Well, this goes up through Germany. Don't pay attention to the German border. This is an old map. Then going to the west, we go back to the west-northwest through South Netherlands, German border, down through central France, South France, and then back over to the west, across North Spain, and then back down around Portugal, down to the south, and then to the west, lateral ridges connecting from the Canaries over to all the way to the mid-Atlantic ridge near the Azores. It's all connected. Isn't that wild? So, I will be giving a presentation, giving this information out to the world publicly in Italy, hopefully in the next few weeks, I guess. Hopefully. Sooner? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how soon I can go over. All right, guys. Much love, and tanto amore to the people in Italy. Keep watch, and I'll be back on if anything else goes down. Peace out, folks.